Today is March 1st, 2011, and tomorrow Apple will be holding their iPad 2 event. It's fairly obvious this is going to be an iPad event because if you see the invitation, which you can see right now, there's an iPad in the background, and it's being peeled away by the traditional iCal. So obviously, well, not really obviously, but what I think is that the March 2nd, the 2 means iPad 2. So hopefully that, this will be a great update for everybody. So this video is going to be sort of my expectations / my hopes as to what we can see tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So first up on my expectations list is that we'll see Tim Cook delivering the keynote. Obviously, Steve Jobs is away right now. I don't think he's doing too good. I really hope he is. Because, I'm sure everyone that's watching this video has heard that, he's away and that he's not doing too good. But, hopefully he's really kicking, and hopefully he'll be able to stick around for a lot longer. But in terms of tomorrow, I do believe that Tim Cook will be delivering, not Phil Schiller or Jonathan Ive or anything like that. I believe it'll be Tim Cook. And so basically the first thing I expect that is they'll have the updates on the iPad. We sold this many iPads and we've sold this many apps on the App Store. Just the typical statistics they always do. Maybe they'll have an update on the people that went to the Apple Store. They always give like these really nice updates to all their products. Not really all their products, but really like how they're doing. And in the past couple keynotes, they're just going up and up and up. So I expect to see just, some updates as to how they're doing. So moving into the actual product portion of this video, obviously we're going to see a new iPad. Now whether the release date will be tomorrow or whether they'll even announce a release date, we're not really sure yet, but they're pretty much is guaranteed to be a preview tomorrow. So what do I think this is going to include? My expectations is that the iPad 2 will have a front-facing camera. I'm not so sure about a back camera because I've never really heard of anyone wanting to hold their iPad up and like say cheese. So I just can't really imagine that. It seems kind of clumsy. So I do think that'll have just a rear or a front-facing camera dead center of the tablet to use with FaceTime. And so maybe he'll make a test FaceTime call, who knows. But I do expect to see one camera, if not two. And I do think that since the camera on the iPhone 4, the front one is just a regular VGA camera, it's standard definition. I do think that maybe the iPad camera, the front-facing one, will be high definition. That'd be fantastic. Since the iPad probably won't have a back-facing camera, it'd be nice to have the one camera it will have to be high definition. I also expect to see some spec bumps. There's been lots of rumors around. I mean, if you look at Engadget, some of the crazy stuff is that there's quad-core tablets and stuff. But I do think that there's a possibility we'll see an A5. The iPad currently has the A4, which is still a fantastic processor. But I do believe that Apple will unveil the A5, which could be a dual-core processor. I mean, there's been lots of news that tablets get multiple cores. So just having two processing cores instead of one will really speed things up. If you're capturing a high-definition video and you want to import it to, hopefully, an iMovie version of for the iPad, that'd make exporting and importing so much faster to really make it a seamless experience. And not only that, I do believe that we'll see a RAM update to the iPad as well. So I believe it has 256 megabytes now, so a spec update to 512 would just really make things, multitasking would just be no glitching at all. It'd be really great. And another thing is that I think Apple has been experimenting with getting rid of the home button. If you saw the update to, I think it was 4.3, it had the 5-finger gestures where you could swipe up, which it would get you to multitasking. You could swipe between full screen applications. So that really does eliminate the need for a home button. So will Apple just have either maybe a capacitive home button where you just touch it and it registers, or will they just get rid of it totally, or will they just leave it the way it is, the famous design? I do think there's a possibility they'll get rid of it. I don't think they need to. I don't see a problem with having to push a physical button because really there's only two buttons on the entire device anyway. You got the power and the home button, putting aside the volume. So I really don't think it's necessary to get rid of it, but Apple might do it. They are known for pulling the plugs on things that they don't need, so we'll see about that. Also, I don't think we'll really be seeing this, but it'd be great to have a Retina display. Now, I know that'd be very expensive. The iPad with the big screen it has, I think 7 inches maybe, something like that. I wish I could get one to really know these things, but anyway. To have a Retina display that big with that many pixels would just be very expensive for Apple, but the iPad is making so much money that I believe they could afford it. So will we see it? I'm not sure, but I'm hoping. Now along with the iPad 2 comes iOS 5, or at least hopefully, maybe they'll save that for WWDC in the summer. to really unveil it, but I hope we'll at least get like a demo of some new features, new notifications, hopefully like some wireless sync. But I do expect maybe we'll see at least, maybe it'll be on 4.3, but if not, iOS 5.0 demo, maybe a release date, even like a developer, like a golden master or something, just something that the developers can really get their hands on. But really, I do think that this will mostly be for WWDC, but we'll just have to see. So now moving on to more of the hopes version. These are things that I'm pretty sure they're really not going to touch on tomorrow, but we'll see. So the first thing really is iPhone 5. As we all know, the iPhone 5 will be coming this year, but really, I don't really know what they're going to do in terms of the whole Verizon and AT&T thing. Everyone's question regarding this is, will they be released at the same time? Will we see an AT&T only update in this year and have to wait till February next year to see a Verizon update? Really, it's a mystery as to what Apple's going to do, so it'd be great if they would just come out, and just flat out just tell everybody what they're going to do. And also, I was on my Twitter, I was looking through my Twitter, and DRBUK retweeted someone, and it was very interesting that he walked in, so not DRBUK himself, but someone he was following, walked into an Apple store and he wanted to buy an iPhone, like today, the day I'm recording this, and they said to wait till tomorrow. So that really does boost my confidence that if someone from the Apple store told him that, then maybe they really will announce something iPhone 5 related tomorrow. Even though it's more of an iPad event, I think because of that, it does fill my confidence that they'll at least touch on the iPhone 5 and maybe give an update to the whole Verizon versus AT&T iPhone sort of thing. And also, I hope to see at least some sort of appearance from Steve Jobs, whether it's in person, which would be amazing, or even just over FaceTime. Hopefully, the first time they went through FaceTime, they always demo people. Like, they give it a demo, they call someone, whether it's Phil Schiller or just anybody. Maybe this will be Steve Jobs. Maybe Tim Cook and Steve Jobs will have a FaceTime chat unveiling the new iPad 2 camera. That'd be pretty cool, I think. That would really just kind of tie everything together. It would give the Mac followers, people that really enjoy Steve Jobs, the news about him it's pretty depressing. So seeing him like an update in person, it would just be great. So that's pretty much all I have. It's going to be a pretty straightforward conference, I think, a keynote. There's really just going to be iPad-related things. It's not WWDC. I don't think they're going to go into many like programming things or a new like SDK or anything like that. It's just going to be mostly hardware-related. So that's pretty much all I have. If you have any thoughts yourself, go ahead and check out iTechCity.org. You can go ahead and make a forum post, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and really just to get a discussion on this going. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm at CPUKid. And that's pretty much it, so thanks for watching.